you doing there, folks? Lame Schmal here, coming to you from FEMA Region number 3. Hey, Gewalt, here I am this soon. What are you? I've been praying. I gotta tell you, I've been praying to Elohim. Oh, Elohim of the Shamayim. Make sure that we, those who love you and are called according to your purpose, those who are ready for the bridegroom, the blessed hope, please give us things to occupy until you send your son. Well, I think we got it in spades, my friends. We got plenty to occupy with. Smack that. I just seen this thing happen over there at London Bridge. I'm not going to talk about that. I got something else for you. That's right. I'm sure plenty of people out there talking about London Bridge. Not that I don't think it's important enough to talk about, but I just got something else for you. Something that I received through email from a dear sister. She told me that Elohim put it on her heart to send it unto me, and so I'm going to pass it unto you. But before I get to that, allow me to ask you a question. Did you notice that in the beginning of the video, the intro was not that siren, that air raid siren that I have used up to this point? I've replaced it with the sound of the shofar. And why did you do that, Layden? Well, let me tell you, a lot of folks just didn't like the sound of that air raid siren. A couple of folks were uncomfortable with it, so I said, well, if they don't like that, I'm going to change it. They said that it brought on anxiety, and I can understand that perfectly. I can understand that wholeheartedly. Plus, there was a very astute viewer of the Zeus Mossbender channel who pointed out, Layden, you should not use man's alarm. You should use Elohim's alarm. And I said, smack that. That was very good. I agree completely. And so I replaced the siren with the shofar. So there you go. And I want to thank those brothers and sisters that pointed that out to me. It's much better with that shofar. Now I want to start off by taking a look at the thumbnail that I made for this here particular video. Because I'm going to assume that some of you out there might be thinking that this is kind of creepy. Somewhat disturbing, perhaps. Well, I agree. Mr. Smiley-Man with a thumbs-up winking, saying, prepare for death. Well, let me tell you this, my friends. What I mean with this thumbnail is not to be saying, like a brother and sister telling other people, prepare to meet Elohim, get right with Elohim. No. This has nothing to do with that. You know who's telling you all to prepare for death? Bingo. I don't know if the whole world has got going what I'm going to show you in just a moment, but it's hitting kind of close to home here in FEMA Region number 3, let me tell you. I just said a moment ago in this here video that what prompted this here video was an email that I got from a dear sister. Let me show you that email, and you'll know exactly that I'm getting at. Now, as you can see, my brothers and sisters, I received this email on the 3rd of June, 2017, 12:15 p.m. I am blocking out the dear sister's email because I have not received permission to use it, but I just wanted you to see the email. I'm going to put the words that she wrote unto me on the screen. Here they are. I have some upsetting news, brother. It's been a while since we last spoke, but I feel Elohim has put this on my heart to tell you. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I also reside in FEMA Region 3. Lately, we have been getting weird mail telling us about getting covered for funeral costs and insurance. In fact, it's being pushed. Normally, one would say, oh, it's nothing, just junk mail. Then we got this flyer in the newspaper for the area. Take a look. What do you make of this, dear brother? It's not just us, it's the whole area. So what exactly was it that the dear sister wanted me to take a look at? What was in the newspaper for their whole area? Well, guess what? Let me tell you what. It was this. A color supplement, an ad, an advertisement that was placed inside a newspaper for a large area within FEMA region number 3. Now, if you noticed, I blurred out any addresses, names of businesses, phone numbers, and emails, because I don't want anybody attending this garbage. Let's read this. Lunch and learn. Join us to learn about the critical benefits of advanced funeral and cremation planning, followed by informal questions and answers. Wednesday, June 7th at 11:30 a.m. Please call to reserve lunch and a seat, as reservations are limited. This is a free event. Everyone in attendance will receive a free gift. Call to reserve. Reservations are limited. Yeah, I'll bet. They're just dying to get in. Sorry, I couldn't resist. And I wonder what they're gonna serve for lunch, huh? Come on in, folks. We're gonna get right to your cremation, don't worry. But first, how's it about a little barbecue? And of course, they're going to have some entertainment, right? Perhaps they'll have a viewing of Monty Python's Undertaker sketch. Those who have eyes and ears will see and hear. And how about that free gift? I wonder what that'll be. A copy of the Grateful Dead's greatest hits, I suppose. Another sorry I couldn't resist. Advanced funeral and cremation planning, followed by questions. I wonder what they're going to ask. How hot are the flames? What'll I wear? And I used to have a joke in my old comedy routine. I say, I'm going to make a will, and I'm going to list my last and dearest wish is to be buried in a rented tux. Stick somebody with that bill. Oh, my goodness, this is pathetic. That's right, the jokes are over. We had our little chuckle. This is absolutely sickening. It just proves that we are living in a culture permeated with the concept of death. Death. Prepare to die. And now you got your color supplement in the newspaper, showing you how to get ready. Does it make sense to a lot of you out there why a show like The Walking Dead could be so popular? Because to sign up for something like this and go through the doors into the room, you'd have to be exactly that. The Walking Dead. Can you see now? Can you understand how I could design a thumbnail to look like that? Because that is exactly what this Lunch and Learn is all about. One thing that always sort of seemed to be a constant was the idea that funeral homes really don't have to advertise too much, do they? Well, that's over. That's over. And why do you think that these joints are so audacious in this now? Why do you think they are so confident and ready to put supplements, color supplements, in newspapers? Why are they spending this extra advertising money when people aren't going to stop dying? You know what I think? I think it's because there is more death than ever before. It's just, I mean, it may sound silly that I'm even saying this, but there is just death everywhere now. It is increasing by leaps and by bounds. Death is everywhere you look. And something like this, a pretty picture in a newspaper telling you to plan for your funeral. This is only serving to desensitize folks, to just keep people thinking that death is just coming. You might as well face it. Get ready. Prepare for death. Right now while you're at it. Come on and have a meal on us and a free gift. A free gift when you sign up for death. That's what I get when I see something like this. How about you? I see it. Signing up for death. I ask again, what do you think makes these funeral people so bold as to start putting pretty pictures in the newspaper? I think it's because they see it too. They see death everywhere. They see amounts of money to be made from death like never before in the history of this dying world. And man, oh man, if that is not a sign of the times, I don't know what else could be. It's just like the preppers and all the selling of the survival gear and the prepper gear. Never before in the history of this world, never before this day and age that we are living in right now, could you profit to such a degree by convincing people to prepare for disaster. And now, with these pretty color supplements in the newspaper, these funeral nuts can now convince you to prepare for death. Raking in amounts of money, like I said, as never before in the history of this dying world. Look at this. Deaths from opioid overdoses have jumped, and one age group is being affected at stark rates. Drugs are killing so many people in Ohio that cold storage trailers are being used as morgues. Fentanyl, heroin drive Virginia's rise in fatal drug overdoses. Opioid heroin deaths surge in Arizona. And this...
Sadly, suicide has become more common in our state. New data shows 3 Tennesseans choose to end their lives every day. That is a 13% increase over this past year.
To have the statistics change so dramatically in just the last 9 to 10 years, and to see our statistics here in the state of Utah, you get a doubling of statistics in 1 decade with our children when it comes to taking their lives by suicide. That is breathtakingly upsetting.
And how's about this?
I chose to become a physician because I wanted to make a difference in people's lives. Recently, I had 2 different patients, and both needed life-saving procedures. When requesting a transfer to a center in their home states, one's in California, one's in Oregon, the insurance medical directors I spoke with said they would not cover the life-saving procedure that we'd requested. But hey, by the way, have you considered assisted suicide? Quite frankly, I was stunned. This is something we didn't talk about, we didn't request, we didn't ask for. As much as most insurance companies try to come across as your best friend, they want to do whatever the least costly thing is. It's a lot cheaper to grab a couple drugs and kill you than it is to provide you life-sustaining therapy. Simple as that.
There you go. And I want to thank the Jason A. Channel and John Holler of Fellowship Bible Chapel and his prophecy update for those eye-opening stories. Oh, I can hear the scoffers out there now. Oh, lame. Those stories only talk about this stuff happening in the United States. You're saying it's all over the world. Oh, you're right. That's right. I forgot. Overdoses and suicide don't happen outside the United States. We all know that. Just like we all know that Rosie O'Donnell's going to give up women and support Trump. Wake up and smell the formaldehyde. And while you're at it, take a look at these here headlines, eh? I said I wasn't going to mention all that stuff that happened over there in England, but I don't think I have a choice, do I? Ariana Grande concert, 22 killed. London Bridge terror attacks, 7 killed. Gunmen singled out victims in Orlando shooting spree. ISIS claims responsibility. The Melbourne siege that left 2 people dead. Hey there, how's about a vacation? Let's go to London, or maybe Orlando, or a wonderful trip to Australia, or maybe we could just take the kids to a concert. Yeah, that's the ticket. But you know what? Let me tell you what. Before you go on vacation, maybe you ought to go here first. Get things lined up just in case. That's the idea behind this lunch and learn, people. And man, oh man, I'll bet you $1 to a donut that these funeral joints are gonna take full advantage of all the new, or should I say increased, opportunities they'll have to get you signed up to prepare for death. And how will they sell you on this idea of prepping for death? Well, just like digging a survival bunker gives you the assurance that you'll have peace and security when disaster comes, making sure that you have your death or the death of your loved ones all lined up ahead of time gives you a freer mind to focus on more important things when the tragic time comes. You know, like organizing the wake or cashing in insurance policies. And hey, prepping for the digging of a grave is much easier than prepping to dig a survival bunker. Graves are nowhere near as deep. Stew on that a while, preppers. And remember what I said before. Something like this, a pretty picture, a free lunch, and a gift. Well, it serves to desensitize and or make it easier because you're prepared. And you know what? Let me tell you what. Everyone will kind of get used to seeing ads like this and think, well, I guess it's okay. It'll take the shock out of when these funeral parlors start asking stuff like, friends, do you know someone who is severely addicted to dangerous drugs, or one who may be showing signs of depression that could lead to the decision to take their own life? They'll come to our Lunch and Learn, Wednesday, June 7th at 11:30 a.m., and prepare for what could possibly be the inevitable. And as sick and as disgusting as that thought is, don't think it won't happen, people, when the Ruach HaKodesh, along with those within whom he dwells, when we are taken out of the way, when we are taken off this earth by Yeshua HaMashiach, anything goes. All hell will break loose. Oh, man, those undertakers will make a killing. And yes, I wholeheartedly intended to say that. Do you see what's coming, people, with these undertakers and their free lunch? They, by getting all the paperwork out of the way for you ahead of time, that, according to them, is what will take the sting out of death. Not the shed blood of the Lamb of Yahweh, who allowed himself to be murdered to do that. No, you gotta go to their seminar. Who needs eternal life, which through Yeshua is a free gift? Then you can go to that seminar and get a free gift from a funeral home. And you know what? Let me tell you what. Since they're really trying their best to make preparing for death fun, I'm starting to rethink what that free gift might be. Maybe they'll be giving tickets away to ride the euthanasia roller coaster. Hey, it's real, people. I'm not making this up. I talked all about that in a video I posted back in February of 2016. You won't believe what you see. You gotta go back and watch it. I'll leave a link in the Show More section below this here video. Check it out. People, if any of you out there are of a mind that thinks that something like this is okay, well, you're a death prepper. That's what you are. You're a death prepper. And doing something like this is the ultimate slap in the face to Yeshua. And the ultimate slap in the face to his command to take no thought for tomorrow. If you are of a mind that thinks that doing something like this is okay, then your mind is completely and utterly contrary to the mind of the Elohim of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, our Almighty Father, Yahweh, His only begotten Son, Yeshua, and the Ruach HaKodesh are an Elohim of life. You got that, undertakers? You got that, anyone who's thinking about doing stuff like this? Look, prepare for life. Prepare for life. Get that out of here. And you know, there isn't such a thing as death anyway, at least not the way this world thinks of it. No, death is actually separation from Elohim. It does not mean that you cease to exist. Look there, my friends. Look at what David, with the inspiration of the Ruach, wrote unto us. If I go up into the Shamayim, you are there. If I make my bed in the grave, see, you are there. Oh, did King David go, ooh? I don't know. All I know is that those in hell will be just as alive and aware of their surroundings as we will be. We who love Elohim. They will be in perpetual torment forever and they will know and feel every little bit of it. Look at this right here, the words of Yeshua himself from the Gospel of Mark, chapter 9, verses 42 through 48. But whoever causes one of these little ones who believe in me to stumble, it would be better for him if a millstone were hung around his neck and he were thrown into the sea. If your hand causes you to sin, cut it off. It is better for you to enter into life maimed rather than having two hands to go to hell, into the fire that shall never be quenched, where their worm does not die and the fire is not quenched. And if your foot causes you to sin, cut it off. It is better for you to enter life lame, rather than having 2 feet to be cast into hell, into the fire that shall never be quenched, where their worm does not die and the fire is not quenched. And if your eye causes you to sin, pluck it out. It is better for you to enter the kingdom of Elohim with one eye, rather than having 2 eyes to be cast into hellfire, where their worm does not die and the fire is not quenched. Ooh! Another ooh. Somebody stop me. Oh my goodness, my brothers and sisters, look at this. Do you see what is being said here? Not only is he telling us, he that is Yeshua HaMashiach, the creator of all things, telling us right here that there is no death. There is only separation from Elohim. This place where those who do not love him will go. The fire is never quenched. The worm never dies. Never, never. And you know what? Let me tell you what. Well, I don't have to tell you what. You can see it right there. How many times does he say it? He says it 3 times. 3 times. That seals the deal, people. That seals the deal. Do a study of when our Almighty Father, Yeshua and the Ruach, mention things more than once. You know that they are really intending to drive something home. But even so, my brothers and sisters, with all this talk of unquenchable fire and perpetual torment described as an undying worm, the real truth that Elohim is trying to drive home to us all is this. Oh, this, the greatest of all truths, my friends. For Elohim so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. Chai, yes, not death, everlasting life. Ha ha ha. Oh, this funeral stuff. It is such a racket. Oh, what a sham and a waste of precious time. You go in this place and you say, oh, don't they look nice? They look so nice. Are you kidding me? They look nice? You talk yourself into thinking they look nice because you just pay thousands of dollars for a box. Come on, people. Man, oh man, I know you're either cheering me on right now or you'd like to put me in that box. Folks, when people go to these things, what do they really want to do when they first get there, huh? They want to go get free coffee. They don't want to see their loved ones or their friend all hard like a rock, looking like some kind of freaky mannequin. And if you do, then there's got to be something wrong with you. You know they want to get right down there in that lounge and drink that free coffee and tell jokes and talk about the relatives they can't stand. You've done it, I've done it. Come on now. And for that matter, that coffee ain't no good. Jeez. So if you're thinking about prepping for a funeral, paying in advance for your cremation, look into the scriptures, my friends, and see how at odds such a thing is with the will of Elohim. Now, I know that there are some of you out there saying, oh, Laban, but what about Abraham? He went and he bought his cave that one day in Hebron. He bought his burial place many years before he went on to the other side. Well, I say this to that. We don't follow Abraham. We follow Yeshua. And according to my scriptures, he did not have his tomb in advance. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not talking to the lost. Them, they're already in the box. They're already stiff as a board. I'm talking to those who are looking up. Those of us who love Elohim and are called according to his purpose, who only have to keep one beautiful and imminent truth at the forefront of our minds. And what's that, Laban?
That we're about to be smack dab taken out of here to the marriage supper of the Lamb and the best cup of coffee that you ever had. Oh my goodness. Gotta have that coffee, that wonderful coffee, the best cup of coffee that you ever had. Eat it with a bagel, eat it with your bones. We know the marriage supper's gonna be all on up on all, yeah.
Oh, yeah.